Hi everybody, Tammy here. Welcome to the Dolly Studio. And today I have a little bit of a combo video for you. So I'm going to show you the doll of the day. And then I'm doing sort of a review a little bit of my YouTube channel and a tag. Okay, so let's get started with the doll of the day, right? So every day during 2026, I'll be posting a video where I show at least one doll out of my collection. Do I have 365 dolls? I don't really think I do, but I'm just going to keep going and we'll see what happens. So today's doll is a little different. Look at this cutie patooties. All right, so this doll is super fun. Check out his hair back there. Or I guess it's a her because she's got earrings there. I think it's a her. This doll is a combination giftie from Marna at Dolls Rescue and my sister from Be Creative with Terry Jeanette and Jewelry Making with Tapping Flamingo. She's got 2 YouTube channels. So anywho, this little girl is so cute. Marna's husband, Darren, 3D printed these, and then Marna put together a collaboration and sent these out to folks. Terry was one of the folks that participated, and she created this adorable little doll. Look how cute. So she got the shell of the doll, and then she added stuff to it. So I'll try to remember. I'm sure there's a video on Terry's channel, and I'll try to remember to either put a card up here, the little clicky thing, or I'll put a, what do you call it, a link in my description so you can find out more history on this adorable little troll doll. She's so cute. She, like I said, she's got earrings, a little belly button. It's all sparkly. Her eyes, she's green. She's got this wild hair, little rainbow afro kind of thing hanging out, with dreadlocky type of thing. And she's super fun, and she hangs out with my dollies. So now on to the tag / sort of review of how my YouTube channel went. I'm going to share some numbers with you. And I was encouraged to do this because of another YouTube creator who was doing a tag. She has a fairly new channel, Emma's Dollhouse, and her focus is mainly on American Girl dolls. So as far as I know, I don't know if she collects any other types of dolls, but she has a lot of really good, cute American Girl dolls, and she seems to be very knowledgeable about them from what I have been watching on her videos. And she did this tag recently, and I thought, wow, that's really kind of a useful for me to kind of, it's the first of the year. Let's, review how 2025 went. And I've been doing vlog videos over the past year where I kind of talked about my channel a little bit, but I've never really broken the numbers down for people, and I don't constantly check my numbers. If I did, it would be probably very depressing. Okay. But anyway, that is where this sort of tag vloggy discussion comes from, and I will have 8 different, I believe I have 8 questions. I've altered a little bit of what she did because my channel is not just American Girl centric. I do have some American Girl dolls, but as you can see, I have Blythe and Tonner and, quite a few Barbies. I have a variety. I have a mix of dolls. So I changed her questions a little bit to accommodate me. And I'm putting it out there. If anybody in the creative world there wants to do these tags, you can either do them through YouTube, social media. You can, put them down below as they pertain to you. Because like I said, some of the questions relate to actual numbers, what they call analytics, from my YouTube channel. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, you don't have any analytics to talk about, but there are other questions that you could still answer. All right. So let's start. Question number 1 was, what dolls did you acquire in 2025? And I did, actually, I've been talking about this, like I said, in my vlog videos, but I actually wrote down in one of my doll journals, I've been doll journaling. So this one is kind of like my miscellaneous doll journal. So I made a list of dolls that came and dolls that went for 2025. And then I also have a page where I'm going to start keeping track of dolls that come and go for 2026. So dolls that came 2025, more than I had anticipated as usual. But first we had Dolly Days Blythe. She's right up here, by the way. She was my only stock Blythe doll, I believe. Let me get my eyeballs on here. No, actually, I guess Love Jayla fits in there, but I got Love Jayla, who is somewhere around here. She's way over there. You can't see her, but she, Love Jayla came very early in the year. She was a January 2025 release, and Dolly Days came way later in the year. So those two dolls, those are my, oh, and then Juliet's Choice. Okay. So that's 3 Blythe dolls: Dolly Days, Juliet's Choice, Love Jayla. Then I got a skater Barbie. She was on sale, and she was from the Barbie movie, the one with the roller skates and stuff, and I kind of restylized her. She's up there on the Barbie shelf somewhere. And who else did I get? Oh, I got an Elwyn Wild, the one with the inset eyes, Warm Days, Elwyn Wild, and I don't... Where is she? Oh, she's way back in here. I'll be showing all these dolls over the next year, so... And then who else? I got some mini American Girl dolls. They had a sale, and they have these small, I think they're like, I want to say they're 6 inches high. I actually ended up buying 4 of those, and 3 of them I've already shared. Oh, I did the unboxings in 2025. One of them came so late I didn't unbox her on camera yet, so there's that. And I did get one American Girl doll full size, the 18-inch. I got Summer McKinney. She is also been on this channel quite a bit, I think, recently. And finally, my last acquisition was Ann Fitzpatrick. She is a Robert Tonner doll that was put out by Virtual Doll Convention. Her name was Sunny Days. She has the bobbed wig. She's wigged, and she had the little bobbed hair. She's actually in another room wearing a really pretty dress that I just recently got from them for her. So, yeah, so that's a total of 11 dolls. 11. Question number 2, what dolls do you plan to acquire in 2026? And I have to say, my list is pretty short, right? Surprisingly short for me, but I am doing a massive purge in my house. I've been talking about this a little bit over the past year, and now it's getting real because I have retired from my teaching job, and so I have more time at home, and I'm actually like, I have been making a lot of progress. Lots of trips to the hospice thrift store to drop stuff off, as well as Goodwill. Goodwill gets my not so good stuff, and the hospice thrift store gets my better stuff. All right. So I have made many trips, but I have many more to go. And so I'm kind of in this zone now of not acquiring stuff, and that includes the dolls. That doesn't mean I don't want dolls, and it doesn't mean I won't get dolls. And right now on my list of possible acquisitions include a Grace doll from Virtual Doll Convention. That doll is going to come out, I want to say like the 3rd week in January, and you should check the website. The Virtual Doll Convention website has a list of events. There's a tab up there at the top for events, and they list everything in there that's coming down the pike. That also includes a bunch of new Elwyn dolls. So that are dark academia themed. So we'll see how that goes. I am part of the Elwyn subscription box, and I will continue to acquire items for my Tonner Elwyn dolls, these 16-inch dolls like you see right here. As far as new dolls, I'm really trying to hold back, but I see possibly a Grace, if I can get one. I think there's 3 coming out, and everybody's been waiting for these dolls, so I would not be surprised if they sell out, honestly. You know, we'll see. So that's the Grace dolls on my list. Possibly an Elwyn. There's 6 coming out over the next 6 months. I think 1 a month. So we'll have to see. It'll have to really wow me because I have quite the collection now. And actually, that's kind of it. Honestly, I was thinking about getting another American Girl doll, and that doesn't mean that's not going to happen, but I had myself talked into getting, who was that? Isabel Hoffman, and I've been talking about her, I've been dreaming about her, I've been thinking about her, and then she actually did come on sale during the holidays, and I didn't buy her. So, yeah, I know. So anyway, my list right now just has Grace Fitzpatrick. That's it. Question 3. what dolls did you rehome in 2025? And I did pretty decent. I had 11 coming in. I had 8 going out. So I rehomed 2 gorgeous girl dolls. I rehomed a stock Blythe doll that was Elegant Ellie. I also rehomed 3 AliExpress Blythe dolls. A couple of them were semi-customized by me. And a Buell Groove doll. It's created by Groove, the company Groove. It's a Buell doll, and she was Queen of Hearts for Alice in Wonderland. And an AliExpress MIDI doll. So it is what it is. I had 8 dolls going out and 11 coming in for 2025. We'll see how I do. I feel like I'm going to do better in 2026 because I already have dolls that are starting to head out. I've already been making difficult decisions about not only items in my home, but my dolls, which are items in my home too. But so far I have a couple of Blythe stock dolls that I have rehoming plans for. They're on hold for a couple of collectors that are friends of mine, and I'm just going to hold on to them for a while for them. And I already have rehomed about a half dozen Barbie dolls to the hospice thrift store, and they were just Playline. Honestly, I think all of them but one I got at another thrift store years ago. And then the one that I did put in that group, I got her for, like super inexpensive. She was like massive markdown, and I know a lot of people, it's kind of controversial. People say, well, why do you buy dolls and then you sell dolls? Well, I changed my mind, and I like getting new dolls, but I get overwhelmed if I have too many. And honestly, my feeling is I have enjoyed that doll. When I'm ready to give a doll up, I feel like I have enjoyed the doll as much as I am going to. And I'm comfortable with somebody else enjoying that doll. So that's how it works. And that's kind of with everything that I send on to its next life. Anything I rehome in this house, I feel like I'm ready to let it go, and I'm ready to let somebody else enjoy it or use it or whatever, okay? So, and that's especially with dolls. I know I have some really nice collectible dolls, and I know there's people who wish they had those dolls, and if I can make that happen and I am fine with letting the doll go, then I'm going to do that. So yeah, I have 6 dolls that I already have sent out for 2026. So that's not really part of the doll questions, but I'm just letting you know. So now I think the rest of the questions have to do with numbers as far as my YouTube channel goes. Question number 4 was, how many videos did you publish in 2025? I published 174 videos for that year. So typically I publish a couple a week, and yeah, 174 total. Question number 5, how many new subs did you get for 2025? I got 559 for 2025. I think that's okay. Obviously, I'd always like to see more. But interestingly enough, while you want to have lots of subs, I kind of feel like YouTube, I don't know if that really matters that much to YouTube when the algorithm considers pushing your videos out. I really don't know. If you know something that I don't know, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. But yeah, so that's not too bad. I'm still not up to 5,000. That's my goal, is 5,000. And as of the filming of this video, I have 4,850 subs. So yeah, so we'll see. Obviously there's 2026, so we'll see what happens. And then the next 2 questions, questions 6 and 7, kind of are together a little bit. I'm going to talk about some other numbers. They asked what was your top video for the year and what was your bottom video for the year. And I thought this was really interesting. So my top video for 2025 was a video called New Doll Outfits for AG Dolls. I don't know if I wrote out American Girl. In my notes, I have AG Dolls, but I have, quite a scribble here. So it was, it came out in September. September. And it did 1,163 views. So for my channel, that is big. Okay. I still have quite a small channel, I feel. And that was an interesting video because I don't do a lot of American Girl content. That encouraged me to do more, and I was kind of getting into them. In fact, the reason why I did the video was because I got some new outfits, and I love dressing up the American Girl dolls. I really enjoy that. They have the cutest fashions, and I had gotten 2 new outfits, so I was like, okay, I'm going to put these new outfits on the dolls. And that's kind of all I did in that video. I didn't make anything. I mean, I did buy a couple of new outfits, but they weren't super fancy or anything like that. I mean, you're not going to see $2,000 one-of-a-kind dolls on my channel. I don't have a lot of Playline dolls, but I just cannot afford those super high-end, dolls that some people have. I mean, I love those dolls, but that's just never going to happen. So anyway, that was the high. The low, very interesting. The low came out, do I have the date? I don't have the date of when it came out. But it was called Doll Friends Around the World Collab. And I had 343, views as of now. That's of, when I wrote this down, which was this list I wrote down, about a week or so ago. But that was a collaboration I did with what we call the Dream Team. So that was Dolls Rescue, J Dolls UK, Beth Ramsden, and myself. The 4 of us occasionally do collaborations together. And that one was one where we switched off, and all 4 of us are from different parts of the world. And so we each kind of traded parts. So I did England, and Jay's from England. Marna did Scotland, and Beth is from Scotland, and then Jay did Florida. I'm from Florida, and then Beth, of course, did where Marna's from, which is Missouri area. So yeah, so we made these outfits for our dolls. We could pick any doll. I think I picked an Elowin doll. And, it's interesting. I really enjoyed that collaboration. I love the creativity of it. It was my idea. In fact, now that I say that, yeah. But, people say do collaborations. Sometimes they work out with the numbers and sometimes they don't. I think it's really, do you enjoy doing them? And that's, the whole point of doing a YouTube channel. Do you like the content that you're doing? You want to have quality content, but that's so subjective. I felt like that was really quality content because the 4 of us, it was a unique idea. We all made items. We restyled dolls with this particular theme in mind. Each of the other 3 people in the group, I thought, did above and beyond. I mean, you should see the stuff that they did for that collaboration. Again, if you want to look it up, it was called Doll Friends Around the World Collab. I mean, wow. And I'll try to put a whole bunch of links down below if I can remember all this. So yeah, so that I thought was really interesting. It's like, I would have thought, especially some of those, for example, Beth Ramsden's, her channel got a huge following, huge, massive subscribers, really high numbers. She posts a video and ka-chinga, chinga, chinga, she gets views up very quickly. So, here I'm collaborating with somebody who has this really strong, channel with a really big audience. You think, okay, maybe I'll get some of that audience. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. So anyway, yeah. So then some other stats while I'm at it here. So the views, my total views were 129,483, but my watch time was about 5366. So a little over 5,000. In order to be monetized, you need at least 4,000 watch hours over a year period. It's not a calendar year, it rolls, okay? So I'm still, in that sweet spot with that. And then my click-through rate. Click-through rate's really important from what I understand. It means who sees your thumbnail and clicks on it, right? My average was 2.82, which I feel is a little bit low. I feel like from what I've heard, you want to be closer to around 5. on that. And yeah, so that's the stats. I thought that was, you might find that boring or you might find that interesting. I don't really know. Question number 8, and if you're still with me, thank you, is what is your focus for 2026 when it comes to your YouTube channel? And I feel like this could be a tag question really for anybody, because you could just kind of skew it for what is my focus for my collection for 2026 or my life or whatever, okay? I'm going to talk about the YouTube channel because I was just talking about the numbers and everything. So my it's this kind of the same as my life, right? So I'm showing you a doll every single day, and I'm looking at every single doll I currently have in my collection and making the decision to keep it or not keep it. I'm rearranging. You can see I have a shelf here that's kind of cleared now. This is probably going to be my Valentine's shelf, but I'm going through dolls. I'm moving things around. I'm clearing things out. And I'm still collecting dolls, but I just feel overwhelmed. And so I think it's important for me to stop and really think about every single doll. What do I like about this doll? Does this doll bring me joy? As they say, you know, does this doll bring me joy? And I will give a shout out. Quite a few people have been sort of doing that a little bit too. They maybe aren't doing doll every single day. Some of them are. But like on Instagram, Casey's Joy, she's been doing a doll every single day. Ambrosia's Dollhouse, she's been doing it. I don't know if she's doing it every day, but she's been doing quite a few. Terry on Be Creative with Terry Jeanette, she's decided to do one a week. So, you know, I feel like we're looking at our collection and kind of rethinking it instead of just buy, acquire. Sometimes we're not buying, right? Sometimes maybe we find something and trade it or whatever. But usually we're buying, okay? And instead of just adding to the collection, after you get to a certain point where you have a lot of dolls, right? I feel like for me, I have to really stop and think about what I'm doing more and try to fight the FOMO. I don't always fight the FOMO off that well. Stuff happens. I mean, you know, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. As an example, I bought Anne Fitzpatrick in 2025 near the end there, and I had no plans to get her, but those dolls came out and I was like, God, they're so darn cute. So I went ahead and bought one, and I don't regret it. I've really enjoyed that doll. She's very cute. I've done all kinds of dress ups with her and videos, and you know, I've personally enjoyed the doll. She's a nice size. I've taken her places, you know, like she's a good portable size because she's about, she's 1/6 scale versus, you know, these bigger 1/4 scales over here. So she's a doll that I feel like is very versatile for things that I like to do with my dolls, dressing them up, taking photographs, doing videos, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, so that's something that happened and I don't regret it. And that's something that could happen again. You know, a doll shows up and she's not on my list, but what are you going to do? But that doesn't mean I should just keep buying and not stop and think about what do I have already? And is there any doll that I'm just kind of like, about, you know, I enjoyed the doll. I had a nice collection. For example, I had a nice collection of the Blythe tan dolls. I got all the stock tan dolls, and I had every single one of them at one point. But I'm now selling a lot of them. And it's not because there's anything wrong with the doll or I don't like tan dolls anymore. I just feel like I don't need all of them. There's some Blythe dolls I'm keeping. I'm still going to have a healthy Blythe collection, but there are some that I am reselling. And I don't, like I said, I don't have a problem with that because I know other collectors would really like these dolls, and some of them are not that easy to get anymore, especially at a reasonable price. And I'm not trying to gouge anybody. I'm really just trying to find a place to pass the doll along. And of course, you know, recoup a little bit of what I paid. But, you know, I know sometimes these dolls, especially Blythe dolls, can be crazy expensive on the secondhand market because you just can't find them anymore. I'm not doing that. You know, that doesn't sit well with me. So anyway, that's all to say that's my focus for 2026, really reevaluating my collection, and I will be sharing that every single day on YouTube. And we'll see what YouTube does as far as what is it like. Does it like me posting every single day? I think at the end of January, maybe end of January, beginning of February, I'll post another vlog, and I will talk about how my doll a day is going. It's challenging, I will say, posting a video every day, but I think it's been a good challenge for me. I feel like it's something that's been pushing me, and it makes me look at what I have, because I not only do I have to show it to you, I have to tell you about it, you know, what's the history of this doll, why did I get it, you know, that kind of thing. So that makes me reflect on why I still have that doll. So yeah, hopefully you found this semi-interesting. As usual, please give this a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for stopping by. Have a wonderful Dolly Day. Bye-bye.